Welcome to Channel 22 Sports High School pregame show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beto Duran. Exciting Week 4 action between the Leuzinger Olympians and the Dominguez Dons coming up. But first, let's look back at Week 3 fireworks at Lawndale High, where the Cardinals destroyed Fireball 55-6. Huge night for Carlton Callaway, 109 yards rushing. Got the Cardinals on the board early. Still in the first quarter, Cardinals up 14-0. Aaron Belton drops back, finds Marquise Cunges on the near sideline. He shakes off one defender, gets a block from Callaway, turns on the Jets. Cunges with a 40-yard touchdown reception, 21-0 Lawndale. Just before the half, Crawford Wilkerson in motion from the right side, takes the toss from Belton. TD Lawndale, the route is on, 27-0 at the break. Lawndale didn't skip a beat in the third quarter. An excited Lew Stowers with the call.
And he could go. Watch Carlton go. Heidi ho into the hizzy. Touchdown, Lawndale.
3 touchdowns for Callaway Friday night. He has 9 in just 3 games. But it wasn't all Callaway. Jamal Fleming getting into the mix. Takes the toss, weaves his way up the sideline. His 5th touchdown of the season, 41-0 Lawndale. But give Fireball lots of credit. First year of varsity football action, and there's no quit in the Falcons. QB rolls out to the right, finds Jose Ruelas in the end zone for the score. Lawndale coach Mark Gomez really spreading the ball around. Senior running back Gelson Cuevas with the long run. Cuevas into the end zone for his first TD of the season. Junior Davion Bartlett, 2 carries, 49 yards, including this impressive 33-yarder. He shakes off 2 Falcons. The spin move, always got to love the spin move. Bartlett into the end zone, first TD of the year for him. Lawndale with the big win, 55-6. They're now 3-0. Hawthorne shut out by Torrance, 49-zip. While Leuzinger traveled more than 2 hours in Antelope Valley, they improved to 2-1 after crushing the Antelopes 46-8. QB Tayshawn Burton was in the zone. 144 yards passing, 2 TDs. He also used his legs, scoring on a short scamper. Johnny Davis led the Olympians rushing attack, 78 yards for him. Defensively, Olympians were solid. Doug Foster, Sam Williams, and Julio Guerrero combined for 5 sacks. Secondary got into the mix, 2 interceptions. Leuzinger's now 2-1, headed into tonight's clash with Dominguez. The Dons are having a rough season. For the first time in more than 20 years, they're 0-4. They have issues in Compton. Coach Cornell Ward resigned after the latest loss because of scheduling conflicts. He couldn't get to practice. You need your coach to practice. Legendary Dons coach Willie Donaldson takes over in the interim. Olympians need to be careful. Why? Because the Dons reached the CIF semis last season. They have some extraordinary athletes on their side. Running back Marcus Darden, always a threat to score with his explosive speed. Linebacker Marquise Simmons, a ferocious hitter. Look for him to lay the hat. He has a scholarship offer from USC waiting for him. Should be a fun game at Leuzinger. Let's head out to Olympian Field with Lew Stowers, Rufus Washington, and Rahshaun Haylock.
Thanks a lot, Beto, and welcome to you to Olympian Stadium on the campus of Leuzinger High School, where it's Friday night game of the week on Channel 22 Sports. The Olympians are welcoming in Dominguez, and what a game it's going to be. Hello, everybody, along with Rufus Washington. I also have Jill Montgomery and Rahshaun Haylock, and I'm Lew Stowers, along with the terrific Channel 22 Sports crew, welcoming you to Friday night's game of the week. And Jill Montgomery, Dominguez has really been in a lot of turmoil this week.
There definitely has been a lot of turmoil and confusion on the coaching front for Dominguez. Let me clear a couple things up. Earlier this summer, long-term head coach Willie Donaldson retired. Cornell Ward took over as the head coach. Now, due to time constraints with the job he has as a youth minister, he could never be at practice and barely made any of the games. So last Friday, he stepped down as head coach, telling his team he thought he was doing them a disservice. So special teams coach Jose Rosa came in as interim coach, went back to Coach Donaldson and said, hey, look, we need some help. So as of Monday of this week, Coach Donaldson is now back for the rest of the season as co-head coach. And tonight, he's trying to pull his team back together and get them back to the league championship that they've been for the last 4 years.
And Jill, they do have some very good athletes on that team.
They do. Tonight you need to look out for Marcus Simmons. He's verbally committed to USC. I'll talk a little bit more about him in the broadcast. He's big, he's strong, and one of the leaders and one of the only 3 returning starters for this team. So tonight's going to be a big matchup. Let them get their momentum back. We'll see what happens.
All right, thanks a lot, Jill Montgomery. We'll hear from her all game long from the sidelines with the Dons. And over with the Olympians, it'll be Rahshaun Haylock. And Rahshaun, the Dons may be down, but certainly you can't count them out.
No, you definitely can't count them out. And one thing Leuzinger can't do tonight is take this Dominguez team lightly. You know, it was right here on this very field on opening week that Leuzinger was humbled by Santa Monica in their rushing attack. Well, since then, they've won 2 in a row. We were here for the Banning win, and last week they went all the way out to Antelope Valley and picked up a big 46-8 win. Also in that game, Samaje Harris returned his second kickoff for a touchdown in that game. So we need to look out for him on special teams, and it's the usual cast of characters. Tayshawn Burton running the pass attack, and in the backfield you got Johnny Davis and Raynard Westbrook. And Coach Tolliver said that might not be it. You know, Junior Nash is looking to get some burn in there at that tailback spot also. So it'll be a loaded backfield for the Olympians tonight as they can't take this team lightly, and they're going to come out and try to get a win.
How about the Olympian defense? What can we look for there?
Well, the big news, you know, last time we were here, Isaac Foster, how he got moved from linebacker to defensive end. We should see the same cast of characters here tonight for this Leuzinger team. You know, this team was built on defense, and everybody thought that went out the window when Santa Monica came in here opening night. Well, they've proved that the defensive unit is back, and if they come out with a strong effort tonight, then they should be able to come out with the win. Not only is it Foster, but it's also Johnny Davis in that defensive backfield, Dejon Washington and Samaje Harris as well, and Raynard Westbrook. So guys need to come out, and you know one thing for sure, any team led by Coach Tolliver is going to come out, they're going to hit hard.
All right, Rahshaun, Jill, thank you very much. There's the setup for the Dons and the Olympians. We're coming back next on Channel 22 Sports presentation of the Friday night game of the week. Back at Lew House just before the kickoff of the Dons and the Olympians, and Jill Montgomery is down on the field.
Thanks, Lou. Well, one of the immediate things that Coach Donnerson wanted to do tonight was get his team back on track with motivation and with discipline. He said it's been lacking in the last 4 weeks since they were going through all those coaching changes, and tonight, for example, team rule is if you are late to practice, you sit out half the game. And tonight, starters Jerome Bragg and Terrence Holzendorf will be sitting out the first half because they were late to practice. Now, it might seem a little harsh, but also could be a big possibility of why they have been league champions for the last 4 years. Back up to you.
Thank you very much, Jill. And the Olympians are going to kick off to the Dons to start off this ball game. And welcome to Friday night game of the week on Channel 22 Sports. And Rufus, should be a heck of a ball game here at Lew House.
Well, it should be. It's a pre-league game, but Leuzinger coming in, boy, pumped up after they finally, on their third try, put Antelope Valley away last week.
And the kickoff goes high, and we have a flag, and it's probably going to be an offside.
Probably so, looking from where the flag was thrown on the field.
So that we'll re-kick the ball about 5 yards back.
And since we got a flag on the play, it gives me a chance. I know it's old news now, but a couple of weeks ago when we had Simon Gross and his crew out here and some of Simon's mechanics, you know, because we don't see it that often, there was the one mechanic where he was, you know, doing his hand over his head. And, of course, that meant that the pass was uncatchable. We, of course, had no idea at the time, or at least I wasn't thinking, because we see so little passing. Actually, here at Leuzinger, they weren't accustomed to that call. But in all fairness to Simon, that's what he was indicating.
Kayasi Zardes kicks the ball off to the 10-yard line, where it's going to be up and returned about the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dons, and we'll start there as Ray Westbrook makes the first play of the game.
Ray getting started where he left off at the last time I saw him. A couple of fans on the way in were really kind and said, I want to pass it along to you as well, Lou, in terms of some of the nice comments that we made about Ray, and one of his fans said that was real nice what you guys said.
Well, hey, you know what? It's pretty easy when you got a good kid out there doing good things from a good family. At quarterback for the Dons is number 10, Aaron Williams. Leading him out to looks like a spread offense for Dominguez. Hands the ball off to the halfback right there, getting about 5 yards on the play. And the starting running back for the Dons is number 24, Marcus Darden. So 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line.
Now you see Darden with the carry before he's finally brought down. Isaac Foster, who was nearly, last time we were here to watch these Olympians play, was strong in the running for our player of the game.
Sure was, as he really did a number for Banning, was in their backfield more than the quarterback was. And Darden, with some more good yardage on the play, spinning his way up near the first down marker. And it'll be at least 3rd and short, if not a first down. A big line to run behind for Darden. A 4-yard gain, so it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go. From the 39-yard line, let's see if the Olympians can pull something off here. They show blitz Rufus, and Darden gets into the defensive backfield, off tackle near the 50-yard line. No flags on the ground. That's going to be a Don first down.
So far, the Dons moving the ball fairly effectively. Coming into the contest, of course, they were 0-4 overall. Coaching change a week or so ago, and a team thought to be in disarray, but as Jill pointed out, they're 4-time defending league champion.
That's right. You don't roll over and play dead, that's for sure. Just underway, 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Up here with our buddy, Alberto Gonzalez, the voice of Olympian Field. And a good defensive play that time, and look who's coming up off the bottom of the pile. Ray Westbrook along with Tamo Kavienga to make the tackle after a 1-yard gain. So just across the 50-yard line, we'll still call it the 50. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go.
Right now, the Leuzinger defense, Lou, is going to have to stiffen. This drive started back at about the 20, and Dominguez has just pushed their way up the field on these guys.
One good defensive play for Leuzinger so far. 3 wide receivers to the right. Here comes
now make it
the
2
blitz.
good defensive plays. As Raynard Westbrook comes around the left side, untouched.
Big sack for Raynard Westbrook, who's really becoming a force here for the Olympians on defense. And that loss goes all the way back to the 41-yard line, so make it a 10-yard loss. Let's go down to Rahshaun, Rufus.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. You know, despite the 0-4 record, Coach Oliver is not going to take this Dominguez team lightly. As you recall, 05 and 06, this team was CIF defending back-to-back champions and are still considered the cream of the crop in the Western Division, the same playoff division that Leuzinger belongs in. So they're going to be prepared, and they're going to be on their toes tonight and not going to take this team lightly at all.
Another 4 or 5 yard loss will make it a 3-yard loss for Sean. Thanks a lot. And for Darden, 3 yards. It's going to be 4th down and about 19. We'll be a bit generous and say it's 17 yards to go.
So losing their defense on that drive, they bend, but they don't break. As you see here, the fake there. But and we saw this early in the season from the Olympians, Lou. You see them swarming to the football.
And for the Dons, punting number 61, Rodolfo Rodriguez. Back in punt to receive the punt formation, the exciting Samaji Harris, who has returned 2 punts for touchdowns, or 2 kicks for touchdowns in the last 2 games. And now we have a penalty, probably too much time. And that's what it is. So that's going to go back to the 34-yard line. Samaji Harris waiting for the punt from Rodriguez off the side of the foot. He's not even going to get near it. Goes out of bounds beyond the 40-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be a terrific field position for the Olympians in their first set of downs, Rufus, at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10.
1st and 10. I'm not so sure that Dejon Harris didn't get a fingertip on that ball. He was awfully close, and if he didn't get it, he certainly put pressure on the punter, which affected the trajectory of the kick.
So we're going to see to Sean Burton at quarterback. And it's a running back. It'll be Johnny Davis. In the spread offense, trips to the left side. 3 wide receivers. And we have an offside as the officials decide to throw the flag. Very late, by the way.
Very late because that's an automatic call in high school football, encroachment in the neutral zone.
And I believe that was number 60, it appears. 50.
So that's what you call picking up 5 the easy way.
Jamie Turner. Those would be 1st and 5. Burton back to pass, and just a little swing pass, a screen pass, doesn't develop, and it'll be a loss on the play of about 2 yards.
Now that actually was a negative situation there for the Olympians as they get nothing out of it. In fact, as you said, lose 2 on the play.
They mark it at the 41-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Olympians. 7:05 left to go in the first quarter. No score between the Dons and the Olympians. The snap goes directly to Davis. Davis almost got free, but one of the linebackers on the left side came up to make a good play for the Dons.
Good play. So after having a 1st and 5, the Olympians find themselves still in the same position now on 3rd down with 3rd and 5.
So we'll see if the Olympians can get things going after they were given good field position, and they really need to take advantage of this because you don't want to put wind in the Dons' sails. 2 receivers to either side of Deshaun Burton out of the shotgun. Has a man open, but overthrew him. And that was intended for Denzel Idris, and it'll be 4th and 5 from the 45.
Overthrew him, rushed the throw quite a bit. Lew had his receiver there. Actually, ball sailed on him. If he had thrown it down toward the hands of the receiver might have had a shot. As we see on the replay here, Burton drops back, looks over to his left, and no reason for pressure, but just a quick throw. As you can see, the ball sailed on him over the head of his receiver.
Gayasi Zardis will punt the ball away.
And Josh Zardis, another guy who was in the running last game for that player of the game with his kicks, and here we see him get a booming one off right here. What a difference it makes, Lew. That is a weapon that you can't talk too much about, that Leuzinger historically has not had, and Josh Zardis has made a huge difference in this team as a special teams player.
And Denzel Idris making the tackle right away on Darnell Monday. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Dons.
That's one of those situations where you talk about hang time, and a lot of fans don't necessarily appreciate what that means. But when you've got a good kick like that, and you get the kind of hang time on it that you need to allow your special teams unit to get under it, you're normally going to get a quick tackle.
So it'll be 1st and 10, running play, and getting into the backfield again, defensive backfield, is Darnell. Darnell with a good run up to the 35-yard line, a 15-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 for Darnell. Or Darden, I should say, Marcus Darden, and the Dons.
Now you see Darden there. I mean, Darden is a load. He's gotten good yardage already.
Aaron Williams out of the shotgun. Spread offense. Here comes the blitz again, but Darden, by the end of the night, we should get these right.
Well, Darnell is number 25, and of course Darden is 24, but the Leuzinger blitz that time almost overran the play, and that could have turned into a huge play except for the linebacker stepped up to make the play. They showed blitz and came with it and just over pursued a bit on the play, but they recovered.
On the tackle for the Olympians
Just about a 5-yard gain for the Dons. 5:04 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Darnell gets it off tackle again, and on the draw play gets good enough yardage for the first down. And no flags, just good up front blocking by the big guys up front for Dominguez. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line for Dominguez.
And he's showing himself to be a low. Let's watch the replay here, and the guys who have a shot at him. There he breaks one tackle. They're still on his feet. A lot of movement. And, boy, it takes, looks like that was Johnny Davis who came in. I know I saw Isaac Foster come in to finally bring him down.
Big Darren Patterson leading the way for Dominguez, as they already have 3 first downs tonight. 3 receivers stacked on the right side, and now getting the ball on the end around is number 21, Jesse James, but he gets shot down after a gain of about 4 yards. Inside of Olympian territory to the 46-yard line, we'll call it. Gain of 5 yards.
On the replay here, you see Jesse James trying to work the short side of the field. Gets out to the edge, looks to turn it up. Can't quite get going because one Leuzinger defender gets there. And once one gets there, you see 2, 3, 4, 5 guys there. But they say there's a flag on the play, and from the looks of it, it's going against Dominguez.
A holding penalty, so Frank Johnson and crew calling holding. So this one will go way back to the 39-yard line. So that erases that. 3 receivers again, and now Darnell Monday gets it on that same play. And the Dons are gone. Going to the house is Darnell Monday, but actually he's tackled inside the 10-yard line. Who saved the touchdown?
Samaje Harris saved the touchdown, but again, the same thing happened. Leuzinger.
We're on the air, sir. We'll take care of you in a minute, sir. I'm on the air. And from the 10-yard line, we're getting heckled here from somebody downstairs. Maybe they can take care of themselves. After the 40-yard gain. Sorry, Rufus.
No problem, Lou. And we've got a replay here. And actually, guys, if we could show it one more time, because we want to show where this play defensively actually broke down at the line of scrimmage. Got a timeout on the field, so we've got a chance to get it back in. And that is Leuzinger showing blitz and just trying to time it. And there you see the first man through, and that's what opens the hole right there. And once that hole's open, it gets exploited because now you got a defensive back against a couple of safeties. He gets behind him, and there's only one man that can stop him, and that's Samaje Harris, and he slows him up just enough to bring him down.
So it's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
1st and goal for Dominguez. All started at the 8-yard line.
So big run by Darnell Monday on that same play, kind of an end around. Second time they used that. Went right back to that run after the holding call. So now the quarterback tries to keep it. There's Ray Westbrook there again to tackle Aaron Williams in the backfield.
And I think we got to start to make a note of the fact, Lou, that Ray Westbrook has 2 sacks now in this game already. And there were 2 big sacks. As we're going to see here, see Ray getting there, nice wrap up, gets his arms around him and brings him down. Of course, Ray's low to the ground, but strong upper body. And man, once he gets you wrapped up, it's not very likely that you're going to get away.
A 7-yard loss, so we'll call it 2nd down and 15 to go for Dominguez. 2:40 left to go, clock running in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers stacked to the near side again. Aaron Williams, Darnell Monday was in motion. Yeah, let's see what.
Delay a game.
So right off the bat, we're seeing that there's a quick 25-second clock.
Had a guy do that to me the other day. I got to tell you, had my first experience. officiating flag football, trying to add just another skill to my repertoire. And that was the first thing I noticed the guy I was working with.
Monday, trying to find some daylight. Couldn't get to Tuesday.
And Leuzinger has a chance, man. This was what, inside the 10 at about the 8 when it started, and now they've got them backed out to the 19-yard line.
So a good job for the Olympians again on defense, as it's going to be 3rd down and 20 yards to go. A whole host of Olympians. Looked like Isaac Foster was on top of the pile there. 150 and counting in the first quarter, no score.
Big 3rd down play for the Olympians right here. This is where you want to hold, and it looks like they've made the hold.
A good defensive stand in the red zone by the Olympians. As Marcus Darden.
Marcus Darden on the run for the Dons on that last play.
Meeting the big linebacker core. As Isaac Foster also. Hello to Pea Kalolo. So a timeout on the field with 1:19 left to go in the first quarter. And it's a 4th down and 18 for the Dons. And Coach, what do you say?
Well, 4th and 18, you got to hope you got a kicking game, because I don't think you want to find yourself going for it on 4th and 18 at this point.
So it's 4th and goal, I should say, from the 18-yard line. So, yep, unless you have a kicking game and put some points on the board. And they did improve it with the kickoff from Rodriguez.
Coach Tolliver there, as you can see on your screen, exhorting his guys on. Handles the defense on this unit, knows what he wants them to do. Well-coached group of guys.
We've been seeing Coach Tolliver's program come of age this season, Rufus, and this is a big test for them.
Well, they passed a couple of big tests already, as you well know, this season, starting with Banning a couple of weeks ago and then Antelope last week.
On the fade, it looks to be incomplete on the far sideline. Again, good defense.
And right now I'm at a game, calling the game, so we'll have to see what happens. Maybe we can get a text on this.
And that's a turnover on downs for the Olympians, as Marcus Darden was the intended receiver. And good defense on the far sideline by Samaji Harris, among others. So the big story for the evening so far in this football game, and the Friday night game of the week, 1:15 left to go in the first quarter, as Leuzinger from the 18-yard line.
So a nice defensive hold by the Olympians there as they cover the fade pass, as you called it. Now they're on the ground, and looks like that was Ray Westbrook trying to get going there.
Looks like they have a 1-2 punch with Davis and Westbrook going now, but a couple of yards lost. So it'll be 2nd down and 12. Well, the 2nd and 11 from the 17-yard line.
The old thunder and lightning backfield. Of course, you ain't got to be a genius to figure out which one's the thunder.
So it's 2nd and 12, 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Burton with a quick pass, and that was incomplete to Denzel Idris, who's a big target.
The 2 passes we've seen from Burton thus far seem to have been a bit rushed. That was a slant pattern there. He was trying to hit his receiver coming across and just led him a little bit too much. I think if he settles down, takes his time, finds it, locks in on his receiver, he'll start to have a bit more success.
Jared Simmons and Samaji Harris split wide to the near side for Tashawn Burton. Big 3rd down and 12. Steps up, throws it underneath, and it's incomplete. Don't know who the intended receiver was on that side, Rufus. But it's going to be 4th down, as Denzel Idris may have been the intended receiver on the far side. So
Shouldn't be
fourth down.
It's fourth down, Lou, but more importantly, the Olympians actually lost yardage on the drive. Didn't help their defense at all because they're going to give, except for Zarda's excellent kicking, they're lining up at midfield for this return. And that's going to put more pressure on this Leuzinger defense if that turns out to be the case.
Darnell Monday waiting to receive the kick for the Dons. Zardes needs to get off a boomer. Really stepped into this one and kicks it high but short. And Ray Westbrook will down it at his own 42-yard line with 24 seconds left to go. And I guess if there's a silver lining, maybe one play for the Dons and the defense can get a rest because they only got about a minute's rest there.
They sure did. And of course, we're approaching the quarter break. 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. Scoreless contest so far. Olympians defense being forced to show what they're made of because the offense is yet to get untracked.
No first downs for the Olympians so far, 4 for the Dons, as it's handed off to Marcus Darden. Darden still on his feet, gets hit again, and finally wrapped up at the 44-yard line. But let's see where the forward progress is. Finally making the tackle is Johnny Davis.
Well, they're going to say that the defense did a good job of stringing him out and actually cost them a yard on the play.
So.
And what made that work is you see the replay here, Lee. Well, that's head tackling. That's just not good tackling. That's not good tackling. That's what one of the assistant coaches was saying. You saw him motioning. You got to wrap the guy up.
John
you guys
Leota.
are reaching and grabbing.
Johnny Leota trying to make the tackle, and that's the end of the first quarter of play here at Olympian Field on the campus of Leuzinger High School. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this on Channel 22 Sports. No score as we go into the second quarter with the Olympians and the Dons. Let's go down to Jill.
Well, starting 0-4 is something that is very foreign for the Dominguez Dons. They have been playoff and league champions for the last 4 years. They were 10-3 last year, 5-0 in the league. So coming into tonight's game 0-4, not something that they're used to. And co-head coach Jose Rosa told me that right now they need to take care of the little things to make sure that they come out of this game with the win. Things like snaps, making sure that they see the ball all the way into their receivers' hands, and right now get after it in the second quarter, come out and make sure they're all on fire. Everybody on that bench is standing up, they're cheering each other on, so we'll see what happens. Back up to you.
Thanks, Jill. Just about ready to get underway from the 44-yard line. Aaron Williams gets the snap. Aaron keeps the ball, trying to get up to the original line of scrimmage and rolls out of bounds somewhere around the original line of scrimmage. Gets up to about the 43-yard line. So a 2-yard gain for Williams. So it'll be third down and 9 yards to go. Second quarter just underway. So Leuzinger, after going up to the AE, or the AV, I should say, back at home. Williams hands the ball off again, this time to Marcus Darden. And Darden gets across the 40-yard line to about the 48-yard line. Or sorry, the 38-yard line, check that. Where it will be third down. Or is it fourth down? Fourth down at about 5.
A couple of Olympians in on that tackle, including Kavanga, Westbrook, and Isaac Foster. And that's a tough trio to get through.
Looks like it's going to be a punt now for Dominguez. Not going to go for it on fourth down. Samaje Harris looking to receive the ball from Rodolfo Rodriguez. And now too much time taken by Dominguez again. That's the third time for them.
That's the third time, and in case, and I had it in my mind, I didn't say it, but that they need to be prepared for a possible trick play. I think that takes the trick play out of the equation now.
But it'll be 4th down and a little more than 10 yards to go. So Rodolfo Rodriguez back in his own territory to punt to Samaje Harris inside of his own 15-yard line. Punting towards the sideline, trying to get that coffin corner. Pretty good kick as it goes out of bounds right at the 15-yard line.
Right at the 15, and something you pointed out earlier, Lou, as we talk about the development of these guys and so forth and how they make adjustments. We'll come back to that in a moment as we've got Rahshaun Haylock down on the sideline.
Hey, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You know, coming into this game, Tayshaun Burton and Denzel Idris have quite a combination. Coming into the game, half of Tayshaun's completions have been to Denzel Idris, 16 of his 37. And I talked to Tayshaun about it before the game. He said, you know what, we're working really, really hard together, and we've developed some type of a good chemistry. You can already see so far Tayshaun's licked his way about 2 times.
That's right. Thanks a lot, Rahshaun, as Johnny Davis gets the snap right back to him. Davis trying to get on his feet but can't get around the corner and does get about a yard on the play. So,
and this is a point, Lou, where with 10 minutes left here in the first half, but when you look at the lack of success Leuzinger's had offensively thus far, you start incrementalizing what you want to accomplish. And right now, they simply want to pick up a first down.
yep, they really need to do that. It's been 3 and outs a couple of times for the Olympians. Blitz picked up nicely, so is the ball, as Johnny Davis dropped it, it appeared, but gets about a yard on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Right now, the Olympians looking more like the Olympian team that got waxed by Santa Monica as opposed to the Olympian team that beat Banning a couple of weeks ago, and then last week beat Antelope Valley, which had beat them in the playoffs 2 consecutive years.
Well, maybe they got a little bit of a home cooking hangover here. Let's see what they can do here. 1st down would be really nice for the Olympians. Samaje Harris in motion. The pass goes to Harris, bobbled, and
nearly
just
intercepted.
dropped, and almost intercepted, like you say. So it'll be 4th down and 8 yards to go for the Olympians, and that means they'll have to punt it away again.
Burton drops back, looks over in the left flat. This was a pretty nice throw. His throw's still high on him, though, Lou. 3 passes he's thrown, 2 of them have been high.
His timing is still off. Ronald Davis almost intercepting it for the Dons. Back to receive Zardes' punts is Darnell Monday.
And right now, Coach Tolliver none too happy with the performance of his team. And Jossie Zardes getting a heck of a workout tonight. Wow.
This one's almost blocked as they really came after him. Monday gets the ball, but is tackled immediately by a host of Olympians.
And can't say enough for Zardes and special teams and what he's done here in the first half. There have been a couple of guys that are the reason this game is scoreless as it stands. One is Joseph Zardes, another is Reynald Westbrook, another is Isaac Foster.
Isaac Foster was there along with Kavienga making the tackle on special teams, and Johnny Leota. So the special teams, that's been the good thing for the Olympians this year.
It's been a very good thing. A very good thing, and particularly tonight.
So Leuzinger has had the ball 3 times and have punted the ball away 3 times. Aaron Williams, lone man in the backfield, throws it deep downfield. Could it be intercepted? Just dropped. Johnny Davis was the closest man there.
Looks Davis slow to get up. Don't want to say he's injured. Looks okay. It was just frustration. I know he laid himself out for it.
He might have landed on his arm or something, but look, Isaac Foster again. He's going to get his sack. You watch. Williams is 0 for 2.
Davis more accustomed to having that ball tucked in his tummy as opposed to having to lay out for it, because that was an interception there in the making. I mean, he, didn't take advantage of the opportunity that was put in front of him.
1 running back in the backfield, 2 receivers on either side. Now Monday on that end around play And the blocking does pick up again. Look at Monday go. Deep inside of Olympian territory, out of bounds at the 30-yard line on the far sideline. Let's see if there's a flag. Yes, there is.
Flag comes in late, and that means it's going to be a personal foul. And the question now is who's the personal foul going to be against? If it's against the Olympians, boy, that's going to push Dominguez deeper into their territory. Of course, if it's against Dominguez, that's going to give them a break.
It is against the Dons, so this is going to come back and erase that nice running play just over 20 yards.
Wow.
So a net run for Monday.
Looks like of about 8.
About 8 yards, yeah. But the penalty brings it back to the Olympian 46-yard line, where it remains.
Well, they show it as a first down. Let's see if this holds, though.
Okay, so they give him the first down, but then they bring it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Fumble on the play, ball's loose.
Let's see who comes up with
Olympians
it. The Olympians say they
it.
have it, and yes, they do. Leuzinger gets the first turnover of the game with 8:32 left to go in the second quarter, and it's first and 10.
Dejon Washington, number 8, with the recovery. So we got Dejon Washington. We called his name earlier. Remember, I tell you, I thought he got a hand on a punt of Dominguez's, and this time he comes up with the big fumble recovery as he's there underneath the pile, gets his arms around it, hangs on, and that was a turnover that the Olympians needed. This is their best field position of the night with 8:32 left here in the first half. Scoreless contest, but the Olympians with a chance, and now they're putting Radar Westbrook in the backfield.
Now they did have it at their own 43-yard line, so let's see what they can do. Now they're trying the same reverse play, but Johnny Davis is collared down at about the 40-yard line, so a big loss of 7 yards. So the Dons should know this play because they've been defending it in practice all year long.
And not only that, they threw a wrinkle at him. They changed quarterbacks, Lou. They put in number 19, Kelvin Galvin. There you see Galvin with the handoff, and Davis just cannot turn the corner. A lot of defensive speed on this Compton Dominguez team.
So instead of trying to take advantage of it with the traditional smash mouth Leuzinger running game or throwing it over the middle, now the new quarterback in for the ball and for the Olympians, Galvin.
Busted play. And that time Galvin and Davis, they bump heads. Actually shoulder pads, but the point is this isn't working. Galvin's not the answer. I'm not sure why Burton came out. We saw this a couple of weeks ago, but right now Galvin's not the answer to their woes.
Certainly isn't. Looking on the field for Burton right now. He is standing on the sideline. See him down there. Ball goes back to the 38-yard line where it will be third down and long. Davis gets the handoff, has some running room, but no, the door closes awful quickly for Davis, who may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So the Olympians can't cash in. As a matter of fact, it looked like the turnover turned up the heat underneath the Dons.
Exactly. In fact, again,
now
on
Johnny
the play,
Davis is hot at somebody.
Olympians go negative on yet another drive. One drive, they win a -2. This drive, they go negative, looks to be 5, 7, about a -9 on this one.
So at the 36-yard line, we'll call it. So fourth down, and Zardes back to punt it away.
And the last time the pressure got awfully close to Zardes, we got to see how this O-line holds up to give him a chance to get the kickoff.
Monday back to receive it at about his own 34-yard line. Snap back and a beautiful punt by Jossie Zardes back to the 25-yard line, wrapped up at the 30 by Raynard Westbrook. We'll call it the 29, 1st and 10 there with 6:13 left to go in the second quarter.
So again, special teams making a big difference in what's keeping the Olympians even in this game. And boy, that was very hard. You know, it's hard to tell where Ray's specialty is. 2 weeks ago, we see him burst out as an offensive star. Now all of a sudden, he's the Michael Strahan of this team.
Well, hey, he's the handyman on this team. Special teams, offense, defense, just put me in, coach, I'm ready to play.
Well, that was a nice open field tackle. You got to give him credit on that one.
Now double wing formation by the Dons as Darden, I should say, Marcus Darden gets it back to the line of scrimmage and bangs his way up to the 33. So a 5-yard gain, it'll be 2nd down and 5. Darden's already carried the ball 12 times.
Still scoreless, but you got to ask yourself at some point, how much is this Leuzinger defense getting worn down?
Well, here we go now as the Dons get a big 1st down as they're really burst through on the double wing up to midfield for a 1st down. Let's see if there's any flags. Don't see any as Darden again, who's their big weapon on offense, gets up to the 49-yard line. So a 16-yard gain and another 1st down, the 6th one for Dominguez.
Olympian defense really playing well right now. They're the star of the squad in terms of the number of times they've been challenged, and once again they find themselves under siege.
Monday with the pitch, actually that's Jesse James with the pitch, gets across the 50-yard line, and now with the switch up on the formation, the Olympians should know how to defend the double wing.
Practice against it every day.
So a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Double wing formation again. Aaron Williams still at quarterback for the Dons. Marcus Darden with the ball gets the 1st down on the far sideline, gets beyond the 35-yard line, down to the 32. Another 1st down for the Dons.
Exactly. Davison on the tackle to bring him down, but not until after they picked up huge yardage on a 1st down, and as you say, down at the Olympian 32-yard line. Of course, they've been down as far as the Olympian 8. It was on the eastern side of the field, but weren't able to cash in on it. And again, the defense having its back, being pushed up against its own goal line.
Under 4 minutes left to go in the 1st half, Rufus. And oh, what a tackle on Monday by Verzion Washington. 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And what I like about this Olympian team, Lou, you got guy after guy that just steps up and make big plays. All these guys on this defensive line do the right thing. They're making the big plays. It's hard to run against them right now.
There's another fumble. Aaron Williams picks it up and is thrown back beyond the 40-yard line by Johnny Leota.
And that's what I was just saying. A different guy steps up every time. That time it's Johnny Leota. We hadn't called his name tonight, but boy, you talk about making a huge play for your team when they need one. Johnny Leota comes in, wraps up the quarterback, and takes him down.
Second fumble by the Dons. They have lost one. On the previous play by Verzion Washington, Rufus, I got to say that he really shed his blocker well to make that tackle. So big 3rd down play for the Olympians and the Dons. No score. 2:40 left to go in the 1st half. Double wing formation still employed on this drive. Williams, though, is back to pass. Is going to throw it down. And good defensive play by Samaji Harris to knock that out of the hands of the intended receiver.
threw it down in the double coverage, and it actually ended up the Olympian defenders had a better shot on it. We look at it again, than did the intended receiver.
Looked like it was Marquise Dismuke, number 9.
And there you saw a couple of Olympians there. It looks like that was Davis. We know Samaj Harris was there.
And nobody really back deep. Samaje Harris is at his own 25-yard line.
Well,
Rodriguez.
Interesting enough, they didn't play him for the punt. They didn't want to take any chances on that, and so they didn't send anybody back to recover the punt.
Let's go down to Rahshaun Haylock.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You know, there's no question Leuzinger has struggled offensively here tonight. And, you know, during that last possession, once they came off the field, the coaching staff kind of got on the offensive line, saying the guys were being passive and they need to get up and get into the Dominguez defense. Dominguez obviously not that big up front. They feel like they have an advantage up there in front. Not only do they need to have a good drive for themselves, also for this defense. I don't know, guys, if you noticed, but on that last drive there, Leuzinger defense, although they got the stop, they looked extremely tired.
Now the linebackers are getting inside of Leuzinger's backfield again, and Johnny Davis is stacked up.
And they've changed quarterbacks yet again. Now it's the third quarterback in here, Johnny Leota, number 11, now in at quarterback for the Olympians. Leota's coming off, though. Well, he's coming. Shouldn't say he's coming off, coming to the sideline for an instruction.
So Johnny Davis loses yardage on the play, or did he get back to the original line of scrimmage? Did get back to the line of scrimmage, the 15-yard line. So 2nd and 10. So Johnny Leota pitches it back. Oops, Davis bobbled it and barely gets back to the 15-yard line.
Nothing happening right now in this whole first half with the run, quite frankly. I think you at least got to soften these guys up by throwing the ball some. Now, it'd be nice if you're going to throw it to make a couple of completions, which they haven't done yet. They've had 3 passes, none of them completed. But right now, this Compton Dominguez Dons defense is simply zeroing in on the run.
That's right. Henry Christian, one of the linebackers, number 44, has really been in the backfield. Is Johnny Davis trying to go around right or left tackle. Still no more room. And if he got 2 yards, he was fortunate. So it'll be 4th down and another punting situation for Leuzinger with 50 seconds and the clock is rolling. Johnny Davis, there's the picture of frustration right there.
And at this point, you may as well take the penalty, which I suspect that they'll probably do, and just let the clock keep running.
Okay. And the flag goes way up in the air. We better hope that doesn't hit anybody on the way down. You know, we're in the landing pattern here at LAX. He almost hit one of those 747s.
Well, it looks like he called it against
Dominguez.
Dominguez, though.
What is that? That's a big one. What is it, a personal foul or something?
Apparently an unsportsmanlike. You know, I mean, we didn't see any action on the field, but that's when somebody's running their mouth, Lou, is my sense of what happened.
Personal foul. So it'll be an automatic first down.
Sure would like to find out from Frank Thompson if we get a chance.
So the ball is marked up at the 34-yard line. A nice little Halloween present or homecoming present for
it sure was,
Leuzinger.
Because what was 4th and long deep in your own territory now turns into a first down with a chance to get something done.
Johnny Davis stutters, gets across the 41-yard line.
You got timeouts to use, you may as well.
That's the best run of the night for Johnny Davis and the Olympians. So the Dons are knocked back on their heels. Now they might as well take advantage of it.
I'm a little surprised, boy, that the Olympians are going to fold their tent here, you know, and with a chance to make something out of it. They got 2 timeouts left on the table, boy, and they're going to go to the locker room. Interesting strategy there. That shows, got to say it, fans, and I love this squad and I love Coach Tyler as much as anybody else, but now that's reflection, Lou, of a little bit of a lack of confidence in your squad right now and just being a little bit nervous, man. You're nearly at midfield with 2 timeouts. Granted, it's only 20 seconds, but that's a couple of pops you can take, even if you teach your guy to throw it to the sideline so that it goes out of bounds. But to try to make nothing out of it, I don't understand that one.
Or even do what Dominguez did and go back to what brung you here, and that was the wing T, or the double wing formation. But when you only have 1 first down and it's because of a penalty, you really got some work to do. Or do you really start juggling your quarterbacks like that?
Well, they're searching, but I tell you what, let's go down and understand that Jill is ready. And as we get ready to go to Jill, as you said, they've gone through a number of different things. Hey, Jill, take it away. All right, well, as we look for...
Okay, let's wait for Jill as she gets ready there. I know that she's made a big run across to the field there. Now let's go down to her.
It has been an unbelievable defensive battle out here tonight between these 2 teams with a score of 0-0. I just talked to Coach, and he said the thing that they're going to do in the second half to make sure that they put some points on the board, they're bringing in a new quarterback. They're bringing in Terrence Holzeldorf, the kid that was absolutely not going to play in the first quarter because he was late for practice. So he paid his penalties. He's going to come in the second half, and he's going to lead this team. He said that's all it should take, so we'll see what happens. Back up to you in the booth.
All right, thanks, Jill. That's not really good news, all things considered, the way that the offense of the Olympians have been playing. They can ill afford to have a big linebacker come in the mix for the Dons.
Exactly. Well, that's what we've got right now, 0-0. A defensive battle is what it's been. Special teams and defense have been the stars of the game for the Olympians thus far.
All right, let's see if they can make their adjustments in the locker room and come out with their wheels aligned when we come back with the third quarter kickoff right after this. No score from Olympian Field on the Friday night game of the week. 0-0 is the score going into the third quarter. It's the Olympians and the Dons in a preseason contest between 2 Western Division foes in CIF, and this is a big game as far as the future for playoff concerns.
Exactly, and that's what they're doing, is sizing each other up. Of course, we know the Dons had a couple of suspended players who we understand are going to come back and play in the second half. Leuzinger, boy, they've really got to give all the credit in the world, first of all, to their defense and their special teams, the fact that this is a 0-0 game, because offensively they've done zilch so far in this game. Not for lack of effort, mind you, but the fact that this Compton Dominguez team has played so very well themselves on defense, and so that's what we've got. I mean, this is a defensive tug of war, and one of those classic situations where first team to score, no matter how that score comes, be it a safety, a field goal, or a touchdown, may be the team that wins this game.
We're going to see who will receive the ball to begin the third quarter. Just some numbers, some offensive numbers unofficially. Johnny Davis, 10 carries, -1 yard. Ray Westbrook, 1 carry, -2 yards. And in passing to Sean Burton was 1 out of 5 for 2 yards. So there you see the offensive inefficiency as Leuzinger will receive the ball to start the third quarter. And just before we go down to Rahshaun, I want to tell you that Marcus Darden, 14 carries and 72 yards, is the offensive leader of this game for the Dominguez Dons. And now let's go down to Rahshaun.
Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. I talked to Coach T just now walking out of the locker room at halftime. And the reason for the quarterback shuffle, everybody has their own package. Tayshaun is the starting quarterback, but, most of his work is done in the aerial attack. So when he's not in the game, look for Leuzinger to run the ball a little bit more. Defensively, he said he's happy with the job that they're doing, but the offense just has to do a better job of staying on the field so his defense can get a little bit of rest. And no, they were not surprised when Dominguez went to that wing formation in the first half. He said, actually, we were expecting them to do that from the get-go. We were surprised when they opened it up in the spread.
All right, thank you very much, Rahshaun Haylock. Jill Montgomery on the visitor's sideline, and she will be checking in shortly as Samaji Harris back with Verzion Washington getting ready to accept the fumble. But now Leuzinger looks like they're getting ready to receive an onside kick.
Well, they're certainly prepared. They've and obviously this is a function of scouting, because there have been a couple of plays where they've prepared their defense for something other than what you would expect a traditional play to be.
So let's see what's going on here. It's, again, 72 yards on 14 carries for Marcus Darden. Darnell Monday, 4 carries, 60 yards. So some positive yardage put up, 7 first downs for Dominguez, and only 1 in the first half for Leuzinger. So they just need to start moving the ball, just shoving it up the field.
Absolutely. Now, myself, Lou, I'm not buying an onside kick here. Not in a game that's been a back-and-forth defensive tussle like this. Do you want to even risk giving your opponent, in this case the Olympians, the ball up near midfield? I don't buy it at all.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Is Rodolfo Rodriguez will kick the ball off. Samaje Harris, now Rahshaun Washington going back in receiving formation around the 20-yard line. But again, they're starting to shuffle people around like a deck of cards. And I wonder if they can get a 25-second violation doing this. Rodriguez.
And now there's a flag on the play, and of course that flag's going to be offsides.
Offsides against Dominguez.
So now it's going to go back 5 yards, and they'll kick it over again.
35-yard line.
So all of that goofing around, and they get 5 yards penalized.
Exactly. And this time I suspect they'll probably kick it away.
So again, Leuzinger, you heard Rahshaun Haylock saying that a quarterback is responsible for a certain offensive package. Well, if you work on it, and your team is used to that in practice, so be it, but just a little bit unusual. And Rodriguez slips as he kicks. Actually, that's his best kick of the night. He might want to do that sliding kickoff thing again.
And he brings it out to
And the kickoff is brought up and getting a little shove as Samaje Harris getting up to the 35-yard line. Will be 1st and 10 for the Olympians.
1st and 10 for the Olympians. Pretty decent field position out at the 35-yard line. Boy, they're coming out of the halftime break. You would expect to see the offense a little more fluid. And the first thing as we look at it, look at the offense take the field. We see the replay going in there. Samaje Harris getting it up to the 35. And that is that Tashawn Burton is back under center in the shotgun formation at quarterback.
In the spread offensive formation, Johnny Davis, the lone running back, and the handoff goes right to him. Good blocking again. Davis to the 50-yard line, has one man to beat. Down to the 30 and the 25-yard line. The best play of the game for the Olympians by Johnny Davis.
And that came, Lou, on the direct snap to Johnny Davis, and he took it off the direct snap, caught the Dominguez Dons absolutely sleeping on that play. As we see the replay here, boy, and he had an open field with one guy to beat. Who's that masked man number 1, Marquise Simmons, that he couldn't get by.
And let's see what the penalty is here, Rufus. After the 40-yard gain by Johnny Davis, they're going to take 5 away, so it'll be 1st down and 15.
Still 1st down.
Big 40-yard run, as you said, Lou, for Johnny Davis. Well, just the spark that the Olympians needed here in the second half.
Deshaun Burton talking to Davis now, out of the shotgun in the spread formation. Direct snap again, finds a hole, gets through to the 20-yard line.
He'll score this time.
Touchdown! Leuzinger!
Wow.
A 2-play drive, and that covered 65 yards, and it's 6-0 Olympians. Johnny Davis is the BMOC.
40-yard touchdown run by Johnny Davis to open the third for the Olympians. And as you said, Davis, 65 yards on the drive. And Zardis, of course, to try the extra point.
So at 11:09, Jarzy Zardes.
True.
7-0. And we have an injured Don down, but he gets right back up for it. 7-0, Leuzinger Olympians against the Dominguez Dons. And what an adjustment. The offensive line was called out, and they sure did answer the bell.
They were called out. They answered the bell. The entire offensive unit, Lou, answered the bell as they go 65 yards on 2 plays, 2 direct snaps to Johnny Davis. First one covers 40 yards. They lose 5 on the penalty. The second one covers another 40 yards. Or actually it did. So our score now 7-0 with the Olympians taking the lead here.
So 3 plays that covers 65 yards in 45 seconds. Johnny Davis with the TD. And let's see how Zardes can pin back these Dons. Going with the wind and the kickoff. Nice high and an offside.
Yeah.
On the field.
That was a good kick, too.
It was a good
Rufus
kick, boy. They
back
blow it
inside the
dead.
10-yard line.
Offsides against Leuzinger. 5-yard penalty. Ball will be re-kicked at 35.
So we'll bring it back and do it over again.
See the Leuzinger faithful, they're a little more pumped up now than they were at the start of this one.
Darnell Monday, one of the gentlemen, back to receive the kickoff from Jarzy Zardes. Another booming kick. This one's a better one. Monday gets it at the 8-yard line. Comes up, then again, Leuzinger's special
Monday's
teams
injured,
is right
Lou.
there.
He lost his footing there, and boy, it looks like, I mean, the way he's holding his knee, it looks like he may have twisted a knee on that one. I mean, he's obviously, as you can see there, in a tremendous amount of pain, and that wasn't by contact. If you see the replay, you can see, wow. I mean, you see the grimace on his face, that was due to the soft turf.
And we were commenting on that, Rufus, at halftime about the banding game here, or the loose footing here at Leuzinger High School. So let's hope that Darnell Monday is going to be okay, and it's just a little bit of a pop and nothing serious.
Maybe we'll get a chance to see that again. You'll see that Monday went down not by contact in terms of the injury. It was on the cut. And there you see it right there.
Jammed it.
Wow. Yeah, that was like a woo.
And let's see, Monday coming off.
Yeah.
He's on his own power,
On
so
his
that's
own power,
great.
he's number 25. In fact, he's not even being attended
That's the
by
best.
anybody on the training staff at this point.
That's the best news of the game, even
Absolutely.
though Leuzinger's leading.
And once again, great camera work by the Hawthorne Lawndale Community Cable Channel 22 camera crew.
It's Darnell Monday going off on his own power. It's been a good part of this cog.
You got it, front and back.
Let's see if the defense for Leuzinger can answer, as Marcus Darden runs into Aaron Williams, the quarterback, and now is being pushed back by a sea of blue shirts. Reynard Westbrook in there along with Tao Kavienga. And I believe they're going to give him forward progress to the 30.
They'll give it to him to the 30. I'll tell you, he has been a load to bring down. That's the second or third time, even with the excellent gang tackling that the Leuzinger Olympians do, because they swarm to the football, as I've mentioned so many times. Right there, he's tied up.
And then
I mean,
he
this
starts
guy's
pushing.
engine is still going.
Handoff again. to Darden, gets across the 30-yard line. And not much more of a gain, about a 1-yard gain this time, Rufus.
1-yard gain, looks like it's going to be about a 3rd and 3. Big third down opportunity for this Leuzinger defense, because if they can get a stop here, they give their offense the chance to get the ball back again. And as I said, this game truly might be one in which the first team to score, which in this case was the Olympians.
Monday was in motion, so that's good news. But there's a flag on the field, some sort of motion or illegal procedure against the Dons. They're moving back.
Offsides against the offset.
So that's good news for Leuzinger. That takes a little bit of pressure off the defense because it'll be 3rd down and 7.
5-yard penalty.
So 3rd and 7, and you're exactly right. It makes it much more manageable for the defense to defend.
So still a big play for Leuzinger as Monday goes in motion. Ball is taken by Williams on the snap. But actually, no, that's not
There's got to
Williams.
be a flag there
That's
for the officials.
Terrence Holzendorf, the man who was suspended for the first half, gets way downfield to the 25-yard line. But is there a flag?
There was no flag, although, boy, there was a block in the back up here against one of the Olympians right at about the 40-yard line that the officials, again, in the action didn't see. We'll see the replay here. See if we see it from where we are. It should start to come right about there, and there it was right there at the tail end over on the other side. Now, of course, he's in the wide open field, and it's up to the Leuzinger sprinters to see if they can catch him and bring him down, and they do.
A 48-yard gain as now Darden is tackled in the backfield as Terrence Holzendorf makes his presence known early here, but a loss on the play of a yard. But it'll be 2nd down and 11.
Holzendorf under center at quarterback. As you mentioned, suspended for the first half of this game at least. Now back in it and immediately makes a difference.
It sure does. Boy, he was off to the races. Definitely can outrun most of the people out there. See what he can do now. Wearing gloves on both hands. And out of the shotgun, the ball is down.
Get on it.
On the ball are the Olympians. And it looks like Ray Westbrook at the 45, almost to the 48-yard line. And there is Raynard Westbrook pumping the fist up.
Raynard Westbrook, we'll see on the replay here, gets in. That's big number 57. Let's give him his props because he's the one that sets it up for Westbrook and Doug Foster to get in on it. That was Sam Williams. So, Raynard Westbrook with a couple of sacks, a fumble recovery, an open field tackle on a punt. Again, having as big a defensive night this week, Lew, here on Lawndale Hawthorne's Community Cable Channel 22, as he did offensively a couple of weeks ago against Banning.
Not doing too bad on special teams. Is wide open.
That's okay. I like that. That was a good throw.
Idris.
That was a good throw, Lew, even though he overthrew his receiver. One, Idris got behind, but more importantly, Burton took his time. It was an excellent throw, just overthrew his guy.
Should have put a little bit of air under it.
Just a little bit, boy, but I actually like that throw. That's one of the best incompletions that you'll ever see.
That's what Leuzinger needs to do, is get that killer instinct and get the turnover and put 6 up on the board. And that puts the Dons back on their heels. 7:50 left to go, and now we have some motion. Johnny Davis.
Well, somebody missed the play altogether. Yeah.
And so we're going to go back on the false starts. It's been a pretty penalty-free game
as these things go.
As far as mistakes go, yes. But there have been some, that's for sure.
It's also a thing about the crews that work certain games, and certain crews tend to throw more flags than others. And this is one of those crews that doesn't throw quite as many flags as some of the other ones we've seen.
2nd 15. Burton wants to roll out and throw again, and throws this one in the dirt to Tony Sawyer. It'll be 3rd down and 15. Let's go down to Jill.
Well, Lou, to say that Dominguez's Marcus Simmons had some advantages in being one of the most sought-after linebackers in the country, I'm not even talking about his 6'1", 215-pound frame, or for the fact that he runs a 4.5 40. It runs a little bit deeper in his bloodlines. He has 12 of 12 children coming from a long line of amazing linebackers. Brothers Marvin and Melvin, better known as Champ, were standouts in Division I themselves. Marvin was a standout at Kansas State and had a small stint at the Cleveland Browns. And Melvin, he went to USC and was part of the 2003 championship team. Unbelievable kids, great bloodlines, and he's out here playing his heart out tonight. Back up to you.
Johnny Davis is also playing his heart out and gets close to a 1st down on the screen pass by Burton. And that was some good blocking up front. And let's see where they mark the ball.
Yeah, and when you say close, he's awfully close here. Again, Burton dumps it off.
So
and Davis does the rest of the work. But back to what Jill said, and got to give her props on, that's just good homework, because she's right. The Simmons family, boy, they have produced a number of football players here at this Dominguez program, and as she said, on at the Division I level. You talk about football families, they rival the Selman families from back in old Oklahoma days.
And boy, what a find he is going to be for somebody. As Burton rolling out to the left, beats the blitz. Johnny Davis can beat the defensive backfield, gets a 1st down and more if there's no flags, all the way down near the 20-yard line.
And now we see the Leuzinger offense starting to move. What was it set up by? Well, first of all, it was set up by the trick plays, the direct snaps to Johnny Davis, and that has just taken this Dominguez Dons team completely out of the rhythm. And then they had a couple of good throws. One was interception, but Burton started to look better, and now they've got this Dons defense spread out completely where they can just about do anything they want.
And it all goes back to that offensive line, Rufus, being challenged at halftime. Burton throws it, caught inside the 20-yard line. A nice throw and a better catch by Denzel Idris, his 1st catch of the ball game. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go.
As we see on the replay there, Deshaun Burton looking out at his guy Idris. Ball still a little bit high. I'd like to see him bring it down a little bit more, because, boy, you put your receivers out there when you throw those jump balls.
Ball's marked at the 16, so it's 2nd down and 5. 5 yards on the gain. As Burton will take the run himself. And, he gets blindsided at the 15-yard line.
And that'll probably be the last time you see Burton run in a while.
You can see his eyes there trying to get uncrossed there. And guess who that was? Marcus Simmons with the big hit. Watch this.
He and Davis had a little bit of a mix-up. Again, you see him, and that's the 2nd time where we've had that kind of mix-up with him. So let's see how this play unfolds.
That'll be a 3rd and 4. 5:30 left to go. Johnny Davis with it. Davis getting towards the end zone. Still finding his way inside the 10-yard line, close to the 5. Down close to the 6-yard line, they're going to mark it. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 6. Johnny Davis, Johnny on the spot again.
Davis, again, on the direct snap. Can't understand why Dominguez at this point hasn't figured that one out. But it's paid big dividends for the Olympians.
Raynard Westbrook just drops the ball at the 5-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6.
2nd down and goal for the Olympians.
Olympians still with options galore here in this position. Minimally, what you want to have happen. Thrown a little bit behind Raynard Westbrook on that play. He turned back for it.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite get his get his hands in position to make the catch.
He had visions of cheerleaders dancing in his head in the end zone.
So at this point,
you got to look that ball in the hands first.
Yeah.
But Westbrook burrows his way towards the end zone and into the end zone. Touchdown, Leuzinger.
6-yard TD run.
Ray getting some home cooking.
Some home cooking, and all of a sudden, as we see the replay here,
Johnny
boy,
Leota.
just a good run. And Leota out front with the lead block, boy.
And whoops, the ball is fumbled, and it is picked up by Dominguez, but it's 13-0 in favor of the Olympians with 5:09 left to go. And Johnny Leota was the quarterback who handed it off, and he opened the hole for Ray.
Exactly. And Ray went straight through it. Nice 6-yard run. Conversion attempt fails due to the fumble snap, but the Olympians not only were the first team to score, they were the second team to score. And now they lead by a score of 13-0.
So the turnover by the Dons was cashed in on that big drive, a 52-yard drive. Cashed in by Raynard Westbrook.
Wow, so for a game that was a defensive struggle in the first half, the Olympians have come out and put on a display of offensive firepower to now take a 13, and considering how this game has gone, you'd have to call it at this point a commanding 13-0 lead.
Well, with this team, it ain't over till it's over. Fumble on the kickoff. Let's see if Leuzinger can get it again. It's fumbled again. Can Leuzinger pick it up inside the 15, inside the 5-yard line? Let's see.
No.
It's called down.
By Dominguez, they get it, but boy, they get it 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. They've got 95 yards of real estate that they'll have to negotiate as we see the kickoff here being mishandled initially.
It's Darnell Monday.
By Monday. Raynard Westbrook in there breaks it up again. And now it's just a loose ball.
And that's 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 4-yard line for Dominguez.
That's Jesse James bringing the ball out.
Jesse James, number 24, comes out.
Or that's not Jesse James, it's Marcus Darnell.
Darnell, though, with the big gain, Lou gets him out from the shadows of their own goalpost as he brings out across the 15 to about the 16-yard line.
So Darnell with a 12-yard gain and another 1st down. He's really been racking them up tonight, getting close to the 100-yard mark. And the double wing formation again, and maybe a false start. That's the only thing I can think of on a double wing formation.
Exactly, it was, and the Olympians seem to think it's going to be against Dominguez.
All start against the offense.
So this is going to go back to the 11-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 15.
Now, just to give you an idea, Lou, the kind of night that Raynard Westbrook has had, he's got 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, a touchdown, and a forced fumble. That's a heck of a night.
It's a heck of a night. Not bad. Ball is handed off on the double wing formation, and terrific defense again. Tao Kavenga was bulling his way through there, and Monday couldn't get anything going. So, but it is good to see Darnell out there after his leg looked like a piece of spaghetti out there on that kickoff return. So we'll give him a 4-yard gain, actually no gain. Now we'll give him a 1-yard gain. How about that, to the 12-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 14.
Boy.
Sam Williams is there to plug the hole. Just couldn't, is the big blue immovable object on that play, Rufus.
Exactly, and what's happening is that right now, I mean, Dominguez is trying to run this ball at the heart of the Leuzinger defense with very little success. They, of course, with their backs up against the goal, they're extremely reluctant to put the ball in the air, but they're going to have to open up this Leuzinger defense as we've got, appears to be a 3rd down on this play, coming up 3rd and 11. They're going to have to soften up this Leuzinger defense if they're expecting to have a shot at this game.
3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, 13-0 in favor of the Olympians. And the double wing is going towards the right and going nowhere but down. Is Doug Foster with the tackle on that one. And after the punts, we'll go down to Rahshaun Haylock, because it's 4th down and
4th and 11.
4th and 11.
Well, they show it as 11. It's 4th and a whole lot. Put it this way, and considering their field position, ball down, being spotted at the 15, they're going to wisely kick it away and take their chances on defense.
And Marcus Darnell was held to no yards on that carry, which is very unusual. So the Olympians are fired up. High kick by Rodriguez, but it's very short. Takes a Dons bounce to the 48-yard line, and that's where it'll be 1st and 10. Leuzinger inside of Dominguez territory, and let's go down to Rahshaun.
Yeah, guys, he's affectionately known by his teammates as Wes. Senior captain on this team, Raynard Westbrook, guys. You talked about it, 2 sacks earlier in the game. Also, he started that last drive by recovering the fumble, capped it off by running over Marquis Simmons to get into the end zone. What hasn't he done tonight besides sell popcorn and peanuts to the rest of the people out here watching the game tonight? Raynard Westbrook definitely doing his thing. Although he didn't play basketball here, his brother Russell did. I'll have the Leuzinger High School basketball team between corners. Interview with the whole bunch, guys.
I wonder if he's grown. Be 1st and 10 for the Olympians.
Only the Lawndale Hawthorne Channel 22 fans could get that one. So we'll keep that in the house. Good throw. There we go.
It is caught. Sawyer inside the 10-yard line, and a touchdown saving tackle by number 3, Terrence Holzendorf. Or it would have been another 6 for the Olympians.
So Burton having the kind of second half that we expected to see in the first half. Throws are nice and sharp. Look at him plant his feet. Look upfield. Tosses that one. Hits his intended receiver, Tony Sawyer, as you mentioned. And only because Holzendorf can get there to make what was going to be a sure touchdown for the Olympians. Now go ahead, Lou.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Out of the shotgun to Sean Burton. The direct snap goes to Ray Westbrook. Ray burrowing his way inside the 4-yard line.
Wow, and there we see it, boy, Leuzinger faithful really into it now.
Once you light his fuse, he's gone, isn't he?
He is gone. Well, he's a tough guy to bring down given his low center of gravity, strong upper body. Look like right now he may have a bit of a shoulder injury.
4 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and goal from the 4. Westbrook in the backfield. Burton, though, is going to throw it across the middle and just in and out of the hands of Denzel Idris.
Got him coming across the middle, and you're right, he got his hands on it and looked good. We've got an injured Olympian on the field.
That looked a little bit like pass interference there. But Ray Westbrook really doing a good job blocking up front for his quarterback.
And now with the injured Olympian on the field, Coach Tolliver out there giving a look at this guy. We actually can't even see his number from here, even though we've got a camera on top of it.
Well, let's hope that it's just a cramp. As the training staff is just straightening out his left leg there, but
well, the only thing we can tell is that it's one of the big O linemen. That's for sure.
There we go. Number 54. Big old Cody Roberts. One of the good guys.
And with the way Cody sits up, you can see that it certainly has the appearance of being a cramp and not much more, and that's a good thing. So we've seen 2 guys go down tonight, 1 on each squad, and thus far it looks like both of them are none the worse for wear.
And if I was a betting man, I would have bet that Darnell Monday wouldn't have been around for next Monday.
Yeah, you got that right, because he was, you know, even on the replay as we saw it, I mean, we saw exactly what happened. And as I said, it was a non-contact injury.
Big old Cody. Yeah, I'm okay.
Cody enjoying his TV time. He knows that the Lawndale Hawthorne Community Cable Channel 22 cameras on him. So he just says, you know what? Hey, I'm going to take my time and take my 15 seconds. So, Cody, here you are.
All 6'3", 290 pounds of him.
He'll watch that clip, I guarantee you, 100 times this weekend.
I hope so. Because he's been a big part of this resurgent running game that was challenged at halftime by Dion Tolliver, and it has really paid off as the Olympians have racked up 5 first downs and 2 touchdowns.
And boy, it looks like Rahshaun is under siege down there. Boy, he's like Beto Duran. Boy, he's in the crowd.
Yeah, he's got the big shoes to fill if he wants to get up to that social butterfly status. Beto Duran is like the Pied Pedro of Mazatlan.
Exactly. Well, there's some folks that just have a knack for working their way into the picture.
Well, let's go. Let's see now. It's second and goal from the 4, so let's hang on here before we go to Rahshaun. So I don't want to miss the touchdown. We got the big backfield as the double wing formation is the handoff is made down near the 1-yard line. Trevon Davis.
No signal from the official. Boy, he certainly thought he was in, and indicating no, it's going to bring up a 4th down. And I think you can just about make book that the Olympians here are going to go for it if the quarter doesn't expire on them first.
Trevon coming off. Johnny coming on. Davis, that is. The nose of the piggy right on the goal line. Let's see if they're going to nose it across right here as the clock is under 15 seconds. Johnny Leota's the quarterback. Davis trying to slide his way into the end zone. No signal yet. And
did not make it.
Are they going to turn it over on downs? Yes, they do.
So Dominguez defense holds after, boy, getting their backs pushed up against the wall down inside the 1-yard line, and they come up with a huge touchdown saving tackle. But as we prepare, there are 10 seconds left. Let's kick it down to Rahshaun.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm down here with the entire Leuzinger High School boys basketball team, and they got something to say. What's going on, guys? I heard it's been a productive summer.
Yes, man. It's been a really good summer for us. My name is Larry Dennis. I play point guard, number 11.
Hey, Jerry, get in here. Jerry Evans. Now, Jerry, you all-league last year. Big wins this summer over Mater Dei and Westchester. What's going on, man?
Man, we looking good this year. We got a couple new accessories. You got Julian right here. He the new point guard. We got Don Lee, convert. We looking real good. You know, we're going to come out strong. We're going to start off by winning all these little tournaments we in.
Now, so far, you guys have been the loudest fans here supporting the football team. What's the whole thing about you guys coming out here supporting the football team?
We just showing love to our bros. You feel me? Hey, because we show them love, they come show us love. We both get the W's.
Losing your football team headed to a W tonight. What's going to happen with the basketball team? You guys want us to come out here. You got to tell me what we going to see. What we going to see?
I got it. CIF. Then we go get that steak.
Hey, you heard it. It's all love out here. Leuzinger High School football team doing this thing on the field. Basketball team getting ready to do their thing this winter. Hey, Leuzinger ball. Send it back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Rahshaun. A very hearty bunch from the Olympian Hoopsters.
Exactly, and of course this year's squad will be led by Jerry Evans, who came in last year and did an excellent job teaming up with the big front line of the Olympians. Led, of course, by Freeman and Jerry Evans. Jerry Evans, boy, he's got all kinds of potential. Wish him the best this season.
Well, it should be a fun one, that's for sure.
Well,
In the
any
Bay
Reggie
League.
Morris coach team, it's going to be fun to see. What two things we know: they're going to play hard, they're going to play good defense, and boy, they're going to be hard to beat night in and night out.
And let's see if the Olympians can hang in here. It's still anybody's ball game at 13-0. Fourth quarter just about ready to get underway here at the Lew House.
Well, they didn't score on that last drive, as we saw, a drive that stalled at the 1 yard line. Boy, they had first and goal from the 6, couldn't punch it over. Dominguez takes over on downs, but boy, their back is against their own goal line. They can't afford any mistakes here.
Double wing formation. Jesse James trying to get it across the 5 yard line.
And guess what? He ran into that man number 4, who, as they unfold, you'll see down at the bottom of the pile right there. That was the first one to wrap him up.
2 yards on the play to the 6 yard line. It'll be third down and about 5 yards to go. Fourth quarter just underway. Leuzinger looking to improve to 3-1. Dominguez trying to crack the goose egg at 0-4. A lot of turmoil on that other sideline.
A lot of turmoil, but if nothing else, you're right. Now, and we say this often, it's not to be taken lightly. They're the best 0-4 team that I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And we have some confusion there. This is still a quarterback as Terrence Holzendorfer.
And, of course, none of this, I shouldn't say it doesn't mean anything, because it does mean a lot, because every team, when they line up, they want to win. But the way it's structured, once again, it's league play that makes all the difference in the world. This penalty is going to go against Dominguez. Looks like it called all sides against them. But as I say, once they get to league, all right, and we're getting down in the schedule now where I think most of these teams have one game left in non-league play before you go into league play, and they should be okay.
Big old number 75 there. That's Jamal Burrell.
I got a feeling Jamal plays basketball too.
As the running back, Marcus Darden, getting up to the 15-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a first down. So good blocking up front by Burrell and his buddies to allow Marcus to get up to the 15-yard line. Big 12-yard run for Marcus, and he's already carried the ball 22 times. I'm going to have to get another spot for him on my very unofficial statistics marker. Double wing formation again employed. Darden this time gets up to the 20-yard line. Doesn't seem he gets a whole lot, but by the time the dust settles, he's got another 5-yard gain.
And a part of that's because he's such a difficult guy to bring down. Well, we're in fourth quarter action, fans. Just over 10 minutes left. Leuzinger having put up 13 points in the third quarter after a scoreless first half. There was nothing short of a classic defensive struggle. They come out in the second half, bombs away, and they've got a good lead now that they're working to protect and seeing if they can get out of here and up their record to 3-1.
Isaac Foster with a big start on Holzendorfer. Stops him after a 2-yard gain. So it'll be third down and about 4.
3rd and 4 for Dominguez.
Up to the 22-yard line. So let's see if Leuzinger can stop it right here. This is a big play for both teams as the ball is handed off. There is Darden again across the 30-yard line. And that's going to be good enough for another first down if there's no flags.
Well, boy, whew, I got to tell you, the side judge, he took it out. That's the first time I've seen that. He had it in his hand and didn't throw it. Literally.
Wow. Okay, let's see if we can see anything here as the pitch. Not really. Maybe
nothing there, and we won't have the side judge in the frame, I don't think. But I can tell you, that's what he was seeing right there.
A little jousting going on, but it's another first down. 11 first downs for Dominguez. Handoff straight to Darden. Darden shifts and gets out of 2 tackles, gets up to the 40-yard line. Marcus Darden has just been a horse for the Dons.
And got an injured Olympian back there. And
it's our man Ray Ray, just getting a little rest.
Well, the way he comes up limping, and he does come to the sideline, doesn't object when they decide he's got to come out.
Maybe a little Charlie horse or something. There you see Terrence Holzendorf.
Official timeout taken on the field by the referee, Frank Thompson.
Now that was long enough to give Ray Westbrook a little blow. He gets back in there.
Now, I don't think he's going to be able to come back in, Lou.
Or maybe he didn't come out.
Exactly. He's got to stay out for one play, if I'm not mistaken. That's what the official is saying.
The Mayor's Cup, we are reminded by who's crashing our party here.
Okay.
We had somebody just crashing our party. Was that somebody from the city council?
That was somebody from the council, and he gave an instruction. I think we do well to heed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take this time to mention the presence of the Honorable Mr. Harold Hoffman, our city
Harold
mayor
Hoffman
here
is crashing our party here, telling us what to do. Imagine that.
Yep.
We'll see you next week at the Mayor's Cup. As we keep on.
Mr. Mayor, can we get a second on that? It's been second and so moved. The Mayor's Cup will be played next week.
And I can guarantee you Harold didn't pay $700 billion to get Channel 22 to show the Mayor's Cup.
Oh, we just need $7 and a sandwich.
There you go.
Timeout on the field taken by the Dons. They want to talk this one over.
And, of course, the Mayor's Cup is the annual contest between the Hawthorne Cougars, crosstown head coach James Swain, and the Leuzinger Olympians.
Two of the best guys that ever won a meet. Yep. Two of the best guys that ever want to meet.
Absolutely. Now they call the timeout. Now in basketball, and I know you fans may want to, but if you want to keep a guy in the game, you can call a timeout and keep him in. But a part of what happened there was that they saw Westbrook come off as a result of an injury.
Holzendorf gets big yardage inside of Leuzinger territory as he gets the first down. And the Dons are on the move, and look out, they started out at their own 1-yard line.
At their own one, and you're right, thus far they have moved the ball 61 yards, Lou.
Another first down.
And Holzendorf is a shifty runner, as you say. Wow. He's made big plays every time he's put his hands on the ball.
5'6", 155 pounds. 21 yards on the gain and a first down.
Westbrook back out on the field. Coming from the defensive end spot, they go the other way.
On that end around play to Monday. Monday gets another 4 yards, 5 yards on the play, down to the 35-yard line.
And what I saw that time, Lou, was actually Dominguez consciously. If you notice where Reynard's lined up, going the other way this time against, and you talk about showing your respect. That's a lot of respect when a bunch of guys decide they want to go the other way rather than come at you.
Marcus Darden getting down to the 30-yard line and about a 6-yard gain, a 5-yard gain, and that's right at the first down marker.
Dominguez figuring if it's good for the goose, then it's good for the gander as they come with the quick handoff, not quite the same direct snap that the Olympians were doing. You see Darden there and Rahshaun Washington, number 8, coming in to clean up on that play.
4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 1. A huge defensive play now for Leuzinger. See if they can get the stop on 3rd down. Holzendorf runs into the line and gets through. Good blocking up front by Dominguez. And down close to the 25-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 at the 26.
Clock stops as they spot it for the first down Now it restarts. Still lots of time left in this game, Lou. 6:15 clock running. A lead of 13-0 in favor of the Olympians. But you're right, thus far, Compton has driven this ball from their own 1-yard line down to the Leuzinger 25.
Working on a very, very good drive, but it's been mostly on the run, so the clock is not their friend right now, Rufus, as this drive started. 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and they've had it for they've had it for all of this this fourth quarter. 6 minutes and 4 seconds left to go.
74-yard drive. They're eating up clock on their own.
So both teams have been getting it in gear here in the second half, but it's been the Leuzinger Olympians that have gotten on the board twice and just missed an opportunity to probably put this game out of reach.
Oh, they would have definitely salted it away.
But they couldn't get it done. Dominguez stood tall on defense on a goal line stand. And now Holzendorf going up the middle and is run over. A nice shoestring tackle by
number 4, Raynard Westbrook. And although he's got more than that, I've credited him with 3 tackles. I know he's got twice that many.
But he being Holzendorf, gets down to the 24-yard line, so a 2-yard gain.
And Kavanga came in to close out the deal. Ray got him by the ankle, tripped him up.
Softened him up there as Marcus Darden gets the line, and there's nobody home except for the blue shirts led by big old Sam Williams.
So
Williams on the tackle for the Olympians.
They have a loss on the play of 2 yards, so we'll call it a yard loss.
And so a timeout taken on the field by Compton Dominguez, realizing that this is one they don't want to have get away from them. I mean, in terms of this possession and the opportunity that they have, still 5:12 left, but they've got 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Well, let's see if Leuzinger can hold. The defense starting to stiffen up here. And Rufus is putting the mojo on his raffle tickets here. Big raffle tickets as the Leuzinger Olympians.
I'm doing good. I got a 5.
Let's see what Alberto can pull the rabbit out of the hat. You know that the Olympians and all of these teams in the South Bay have been really hit by budget cuts here. So the Leuzinger Olympian family has started to raise money for their own programs. And we take our hats off and maybe open up our coin purses and contribute.
6 remain standing.
All right, big 3rd down and a long 9 yards for the Dons. All the Olympians are up front expecting the run. Holzendorf skipping through, gets down to the 20-yard line, but not good enough for the first down. It'll be 4th down and 5 yards to go, and you got to believe with 5 minutes and counting left to go, Rufus, they're going to have to go for it.
Do we have a winner out there? 574, 169.
Well, you're right, Lou. At 4th, and they're about 4th and 5 from the 15. They are going for it. The defense is trying to get the crowd pumped up. I think the crowd is sufficiently pumped up.
And report to the snack shop, please.
Let's see. We got Sam Williams and Isaac Foster up front of the defensive tackles, and now we have an official timeout. Too much time by the Dons, and they're going to take 5 yards off of that. So instead of 4th and 5, it's going to be 4th and 10.
That'll bring up 4th and 10.
We'll get to Rahshaun right after this play. 4:29 left to go in the ball game. Leuzinger up 13-0. Look out for the pass on this 4th and 10. Holzendorf drops the ball, and that allows the defense to get in. And Isaac Foster and Sam Williams take care of it, and Leuzinger gets the ball back.
Absolutely. And that's what the busted play gave the defense, the Leuzinger defense, the slight edge that they needed. Because, boy, getting the ball, I mean, they were getting it in the right man's hands. That's Hosendorf. But, boy, because of the fumble, the defensive pursuit, which was coming anyway, that play was dead on arrival.
Let's go down to Rahshaun real quick.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. You know, when you're building a program, and that's definitely something that Coach T is doing here at Leuzinger, you're going to draw a lot of outside interest, and that's definitely what they're doing here. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., Dijon Washington will be headed on an airplane to Lincoln, Nebraska, where he'll be going on a recruiting visit, and he'll be watching the Nebraska-Missouri game. Not to be outdone, Samaje Harris has a scholarship offer from San Diego State, although he has not officially accepted it yet. You know, it doesn't just stop there. Along these sidelines tonight, you got the likes of Washington State, UCLA, and San Jose State scouts here looking to get perhaps a glimpse of maybe a future player in one of their respective programs.
All right, Rahshaun, thank you very much. Renard Westbrook almost gets a first down. 9 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Leuzinger in a tight formation, double wing formation, pitch back, and trying to grind out a first down with 3:34 and counting. Renard Westbrook, did he get it?
Looks like it did from the position of one side, Judge. He's going okay, and now they do spot it, where it is a first down for the Olympians with 3.5 left. And Dominguez has 2 timeouts remaining. As we see the replay there, with the Olympians picking up the first down.
I formation. Johnny Leota is the quarterback. Renard Westbrook banging his way across the 40-yard line to the 45 into first down territory near midfield. Renard Westbrook.
And not until after he picked up 14 yards on the play, they finally drive him out of bounds. Renard covering up well.
The Little Bull rumbling through the backfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, you talk about a guy who's found his calling, and first-time fans will look at this and think that, you know, this all came to this guy just naturally. Well, some of it is natural, but I can tell you a lot of it's hard work. Last year, Ray barely got touches on this team. Kept at it, though, didn't give up, and look where he is now.
And Johnny Davis is thrown out of bounds, and this could be an unsportsmanlike conduct or late hit.
Well, it will be, and
Johnny
that's going to
Davis.
tack another 15 yards onto it, Lou. So the wheels right now just about completely off for the Dominguez Dons, a team that came in much better than advertised, and they've played better than advertised in terms of their record. But by the same token, a bit of frustration starting to set in as with 2:27 left, starts to look somewhat inevitable that the Olympians are going to hold court here, raise their record to 3-1. And boy, for this Olympian team, this is going to be a situation where they're going to look back 1,000 times, and they may as well keep looking forward at that Santa Monica game and go, right now we should be setting 4-0.
Well, as the Olympians still push forward towards the 30-yard line. I believe that's Ray Westbrook again. Ray burrowing his way through, leaving a trail of dark helmets in his wake. And they're not Olympian helmets. Those are Don helmets. A 5-yard gain for Westbrook. And he's piling them up now. But maybe we're seeing a coming out party for this team that can actually close the deal. We've seen some terrific teams and some terrific athletes, Rufus, with 2:13 left to go in the fourth quarter, and Leuzinger up 13-0. But we have not seen those terrific teams with those terrific athletes close the deal on some tough Bay League teams.
I haven't seen it, but this may well be the year. And I'll tell you why it may well be the year, Lou. When you look at the preseason schedule, all right, this team has played 3 very tough opponents in terms of Antelope Valley, in terms of Banning, in terms of Dominguez. Hate to say it, but folks know it's true, so I can't dress it up. They get a bit of a breather next week against a Hawthorne team that's still trying to find its legs. There'll be a lot of emotional excitement, but technically, I won't even say technically, realistically, the better team on the field next week will be the Leuzinger Olympians.
No doubt about it, and that'll give the Olympians a chance to work some kinks out of their passing game, because Deshaun Burton, although he did show some brightness by completing 4 out of 5 passes here in the second half, needs some work on his timing.
And if you're a Hawthorne Cougar fan, as we talk a little bit about next week, I'm sure the Cougars are sitting there and saying, can you say Oregon State? Can you say Alabama,
right,
which waxed Georgia last week?
Oh, they've been upset city all throughout
for the
college
taking.
football.
So I don't want to sell Coach Swain's team short.
Not at all.
We know they're going to show up,
And
but
that's
they
a
know
very
they've
fast
got to
team.
tell. Absolutely.
And speaking of fast, there goes Trevon Davis. Davis spinning his way inside the 20-yard line. Fresh legs by Trevon Davis. And the Olympians get inside the 20 with 1:17 left to go. Too bad he got out of bounds, or else the clock could still be running.
Right.
But we'll take it.
We'll take it. And next week's game, we're talking about the Mayor's Cup. And one thing about it, Hawthorne gets it at home at Hellcat Field. So they'll at least have the crowd advantage and the home field advantage going their way.
Actually, he didn't get out of bounds. They just had to move the chains up for the first down.
Well, we're under a minute left.
And I do believe Coach Tolliver might have gotten some Gatorade as Davis, Johnny Leota, and Trevon Davis in there. A lot of second stringers in there. Isaac Foster in there. Raynard Westbrook really lead the hooping and hollering down there at the sideline. Oh, there he is. Got that nice shower. Why not? 30 seconds and counting left to go as Davis gets it down to the 13-yard line. A 3-yard gain. And the Lou House chants begin. Whose house?
Lou House.
And there it is. The genuflect by Johnny Leota. Tosses the ball to Frank Johnson. And that is going to do it. They can endorse the back of this one and deposit it into the win column. Leuzinger improves to 3-1 with a 13-0 shutout of the Dominguez Dons, who are now 0-5.
0-5, they'll head into league play in the next week or so. Probably have a bye week next week. And the Olympians, wow, they upped their record to 3-1, and they now turn their sights to Hawthorne High and the Cougars at Hellcat Field next week. But they're going to take a moment to enjoy this one, because they know that this was one of those character-building wins, Lou, because in the first half, it was tough. It was tough. And but they come away with it. And congratulations to Coach Dion Tolliver and his squad of guys. Boy, his defense played great. His defense kept them in the game.
That's right,
until they could get the offense on track.
And I tell you what, Rufus, you got to hand it to the kids, too, for listening to the coaching staff at halftime and came right out in the second half to get that first touchdown, as it was a touchdown by Johnny Davis, a 30-yard run, 3 plays in 45 seconds. And then they cashed in a fumble as the Leuzinger Olympian torch burns brightly over Lawndale tonight. Raynard Westbrook capped off an 8-play, 52-yard drive after the fumble was recovered by Westbrook. He answered the bell on both ends, and that was it for the scoring. But a terrific job by the Leuzinger Olympians in their 13-0 victory tonight to improve to 3-1. Let's go down to Montgomery, excuse me.
I'm with Dominguez coach, Coach Donnerson. First, let me congratulate you and welcome you back to coaching. I know it's not the outcome you wanted tonight. Offensively, you seem to struggle. What happened?
We just don't have that many guys that know what they're doing right now. 10 of those guys are brand new to us this year. So we're trying. We tried 2 different offenses this year. So hopefully we can get it together. We got 2 weeks to get it together, so hopefully we can get it together in 2 weeks.
Defensively, you came out in the first half and it seemed to be dead on. Second half fizzled a little bit. They were having some tough time stopping their offense. Evaluate what they did.
They came out and ran their number 5. They ran him on a direct snap, and we couldn't stop him. He ran about 3 times in the game. They get about 70 yards on that one play. But they did a fine job tonight. Fine job. And we all disciplined kids. We really enjoy playing them. Hopefully we play them again next year.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck the rest of the season. Not the outcome that they wanted, but they have their stability back in their coaching staff. We'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Let's send it back up to the booth.
Thanks, Jilly. Great job upstairs, or downstairs, I should say. Jill Montgomery, the newest part of the Friday night broadcasts here on Channel 22 Sports. And it's the Lew House shining brightly tonight. Certainly a lot different than previous years, Rufus. This team can finish the deal.
They can finish the deal, and one of the reasons they can do it, Lou, has been, and we'll talk about a lot of guys and mention a lot of people, boy, you got to go back to special teams and the fact that that kicking unit in particular, led by Josie Zardes, always took them out of trouble. When they were pinned in their own end of the field, big booming kicks gave the defense room to work with. Every time they needed a big kick, they got one. Gave time for coverage. They made big plays defensively when they had to. They bent, but they never broke. And then when they finally got the offense untracked, you're right, came out of the locker room at halftime on the first drive of the second half, went 65 yards and scored a touchdown right off the bat, and then answered that again later in the third period with another 6-yard run by Radar Westbrook. Didn't convert the extra point attempt on that one due to a fumble snap, but they made the 13-0 lead stand up, as I predicted that it would be that kind of game. As we talked to Papa Westbrook, congratulations yet again.
Ray.
All right.
Ray's the man.
All right. And that was Daddy Westbrook stopping by our broadcast position here. But that's what we're talking about. And that was what I said, as we came out for the second half, that this easily could be a situation where the first team that scores would win the game. And, boy, guess what? That's exactly what happened. The first team that scored, it happened to be our own Leuzinger Olympians, fortunately, and they made that score, that first touchdown, stand up, and they're going out of here with a 13-0 win. An excellent preseason for them so far. And the point I want to make, Lou, before I hand it back to you, in terms of, and you talked about the Bay League, as we set up and get ready for Bay League competition, I got to tell you, this is going to be the year that the Olympians, I believe, will be a force to be reckoned with, because they have played a demanding preseason schedule.
Yeah, they certainly have, as Coach Dion Tolliver stacking up those big boys before the Bay League, because we know who's in the Bay League.
Absolutely. And you got teams galore. Some of the teams they'll be facing as we get ready for that. Redondo,
Costa,
Palos Verdes,
Palos.
And, of course, they close the season against West here at home. And I guarantee you that'll be a game you don't want to miss.
That's it. And speaking of don't want to miss, let's go down to Rahshaun.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm down here with a very happy Coach Dion Tolliver. Tell it 2 halves. First half was kind of grinded out, donuts on the boards for both sides. What'd you tell this team at halftime? They came out with a lot more spirit.
We just went in the halftime, made halftime adjustments. We seen what they were doing. They're a fast team. So we decided just to go inside, keep pushing them, and eventually they would fold. And second half, these guys decided they wanted to win, and they came out and they performed.
Defensively, looked a little bit gassed in the first half, but they still were able to come up with stops. How were they able to find that second effort in the second half and be able to continue to pitch this shutout?
The word of the week was desire, and they came out and they showed that desire to win. And second half was just it was easy for these guys because they knew what they wanted to do. They knew what was in their heart.
Now, Dominguez came in here with a record of 0-4. You knew you couldn't take these guys lightly, and obviously it showed tonight with a close contest. What was the main thing that you felt like you had to get across to your team throughout this week?
We had to get across that the coaches that won the championship were still at Dominguez, and I had to let these guys know that it wasn't no different. These guys was going to get them better and better every week, and that's what they're doing. They're gonna be in the playoffs. They'll probably win San Gabriel, and we'll see them again.
Definitely a change. Game 1, week 1, right here. You guys were humbled a little bit by Santa Monica. Everyone counted you out against Bannon. Now you guys turn it around, 3 wins in a row. You know, what's going on with this program right now, and what's next for Leuzinger?
Well, I'm hoping a win is next. Right now, I think the guys are just feeling it. We made some adjustments after that first game, and the guys decided that they didn't want to lose. They didn't want to get pushed around. They wanted to keep on working hard because they knew that they wanted to change the reputation of Leuzinger, and they want to get better and better every year.
Hey, congratulations on the win tonight, Coach. Appreciate it. That's Coach Deon Tolliver, Leuzinger Olympians, 13-0, pitching a shutout here over Dominguez Dons. Fall to 0-5 on the season. We're going to try to rally a couple players if we get the chance, if time permits, guys.
Rahshaun, you better look out. You're going to get that nice suit all wet after Coach Tolliver got that bath. Gee, I don't want the cleaning bill.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, though. I think Rahshaun, he's making enough money. But Johnny Davis, 10 carries for -1 yard, and in the first half, Rufus. And then in the second half, 5 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. And to Sean Burton, 1 out of 5 for 2 yards in the first half passing. In the second half, Deshaun Burton, 4 out of 7, 81 yards, but no touchdown. But Ray Westbrook, 1 carry for -2 yards in the first half, 8 carries for 40 yards in the second half. So overall, 9 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Also, as you mentioned, 2 sacks and a fumble recovery that bookended the touchdown by Ray.
Forced fumble and a couple of open field tackles to boot, and it looks like Rahshaun may have Ray down there on the field with him right now.
Yeah, Rufus and Lou, you guys absolutely right. I got Ray down here, right here. And big game tonight against Dominguez. Obviously, let's talk about the team first. I mean, you guys knew you couldn't take these guys lightly despite them coming in here with the 0-4 record. What'd you have to do as a captain to rally these guys?
Well, you know, man, we came out Monday. We worked hard. We watched film hard. We all studied. We had our scout reports ready. We came out Tuesday. We practiced hard. We ran hard. Came out Wednesday. We practiced hard. We ran hard. Came out Thursday. Had a quiet practice. Was focused. Came out today, and we just balled out.
And defensively, what was your mindset today? I mean, you're in the backfield. You had a couple sacks in that first half. You had the big fumble recovery that led to your touchdown. What was your theme, your mindset defensively?
My mindset was just stop the wing T, man. That's all Coach T kept on enforcing in our head all week. Just stop the wing T. We stopped it. Now we won the game.
A big win tonight. How important is this win for you guys as you're going forward?
It's real important, man. You know, this is a big old stepping stone because now we get to go to Hawthorne, play against them. You know, they're going to be a tough team because they're our rivals. Go to them, try to do the same thing we're doing to Dominguez, but just do it harder.
Last question for you, Ray. How tired are you? I mean, you were on the field pretty much the whole game.
I'm tired, man. I'm about to go home, call my big bro, tell him how I did. You know, I did it for my dad's birthday, too. Happy birthday, Dad. That's about it, man. That's it, man.
Get you some rest, man. You deserve it.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, that's Raynard Westbrook. He said he's tired. He's going to call big bro Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know, this Leuzinger team came out here spirited. Big win for them tonight as they go forward. Next week, it's the Mayor's Cup. So you know you're going to be ready for that one, guys.
And Harold Hoffman put a resolution right here. It's right here. It says we must be at the Mayor's Cup. And I tell you what, we don't want to do anything with the Mayor's resolution, but put it in our pocket and be there. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Well, you know, again, just a huge game for the Olympians. And as Ray said, Dad's birthday, going to call big brother. You know, Coach got us pumped up all week, and he being a captain, I mean, you can see that he's the emotional leader of this team, as well as being one of its very best players. And so
Absolutely.
For him and the entire squad, what a heck of a night and a great win for him.
The Leuzinger Lion, Raynard Westbrook, certainly the heart of the Lion here tonight in a big 13-0 win for the Leuzinger Olympians over the Dominguez Dons. And Ray Westbrook, again, with a terrific night. 2 sacks and a fumble recovery and 9 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Also, Johnny Davis in receiving. We told you about his yardage. He was 15 out of 15 carries, 81 yards, but also had 3 catches, 1 for 21 yards, 1 for 15 yards in the first half, 1 for -2 yards. But it was all Leuzinger's defense against the Dons tonight.
Absolutely. And again, other guys contributed. Verzion Washington had a couple of big plays. Isaac Foster, the ball hawking linebacker, always in the mix. And then we saw a couple other guys, Kavanga, and later on one other fellow that I forget. But the point was, as we talked about, and I had mentioned it, different guys have the ability on this team to step up and make the play. And that's a function, one, of having good athletes, of them being well coached, and everybody knowing to take advantage of their opportunity.
Sam Williams, one of the linemen right next to Isaac Foster, doing a big job plugging up holes, along with number 51, Cody Roberts, who got a little bit of a dinged up knee, but really did a good job. Well, what do you think? We put a bow on this one and wrap it up and send it off.
Well, we got some unfinished business
here.
here.
That's right, we do.
Got some unfinished business, and I don't know.
Well, I tell you, it's no brainer for me. Number 4 is the lion-hearted Leuzinger Olympian.
I got his stats right here.
Okay.
2 sacks, fumble recovery, 6-yard TD run, a forced fumble, and 3 open field tackles that stopped potentially big plays for Compton Dominguez Dons. Once again, my vote along with yours is for Ray Westbrook.
All right, well, let's put the bow on this one, and we'll wrap it up for Raynard Westbrook. He is our Leuzinger Friday night Game of the Week player of the game. Congratulations to him. The Westbrook legacy goes on in the whose house?
Lew House!
All right, the final score once again from Olympian Field on the campus of Leuzinger High School is the Leuzinger Olympians 13, the Dominguez Dons nothing. For Rufus Washington, Jill Montgomery, and Rahshaun Haylock and the terrific Channel 22 Sports crew, I'm Lew Stowers saying so long until next time.